Welcome to the Early Years Physical Activity e-learning. The workshop will last around 25 minutes. Some parts are interactive, so please make sure you have a pen and paper. Today we'll be talking through physical activity meaning and the importance of movement, challenges around physical activity, the importance of physical development in the EYFS statutory framework, physical activity guidelines and local resources we have in place, key ways you can create an enabling environment, reduce sedentary behaviour and engage with parents and carers. We're going to start off the e-learning with a short activity. I'd like you to write down what being physically active means to you. I'll give you 1 minute. A few more seconds. Great. Hopefully you've managed to write some words down. Let's see if any of the words appear in the next few slides. When we talk about being physically active, it refers to all movement. This can include climbing stairs, tidying up and walking to the setting. Physical development represents an area of learning within the early years foundation stage and is a prime area that is seen fundamental to every aspect of a child's life. Physically active play is when you undertake bigger movements that involve the whole body, and it might include more energetic activities such as running, chasing, climbing, lifting boxes, and so on. There are lots of benefits to both children and adults being active and can have a positive effect physically, mentally, and socially. Some of the key benefits for children are developing strong bones, muscles and heart, developing good motor skills including balance and coordination, supports good social skills and is great for making friends, helps maintain a healthy weight, helps to enable them to sleep well, can boost confidence and help with emotional skills. The message that is key is about moving more. Movement is essential for all of our lives, enables all babies and children to develop the structure of their brain, meaning it's creating the best start to life. Babies have an urge to move. This can be known as seeking urge, meaning they move more to make sense of their world and to learn. As children get older, they energise their interests and create a healthy body and mind. We need to support children develop as they grow to help with their independence and self-control. When we look at brain and development, if you think of building a house, the physical section of the brain is at the bottom and then the education is at the top. When you build a house, you need strong foundations so other areas don't wobble. So if we support children with their physical development, it will help with other areas of learning. We know that a lot of early years settings and practitioners feel that there are challenges when it comes to physical activity. Some of the most common barriers that we hear about are having a lack of time. We know how busy staff are within the early years sector. Lack of space, whether that's indoor or outdoor. Being unqualified. We hear I'm not active myself or I don't have any qualifications in physical activity or sport. We also hear about the lack of specific resources or money within early years. This might resonate with yourself or there might be other reasons. Further in the e-learning, we'll address some of these concerns in more detail and always know there is support for you to access. Earlier I spoke about the benefits of being physically active and moving more. We also know that physical development is one of the prime areas of learning. Therefore, it's important that practitioners can support children to develop. Without children being secure in this area of development, they may not be able to go on to fully develop in other areas. The EYFS has split physical development into 2 early learning goals, gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Fine motor is skills such as holding a pencil effectively, using a range of small tools like scissors, using a paintbrush and cutlery, and also showing further accuracy and care in drawing. Gross motor skills are all the skills that children develop using their whole body and can include things like demonstrating strength, balance, and coordination when playing, moving around energetically, and also moving around in space safely. As you'll be aware, the EYFS statutory framework is split into two guides, one for group and school-based settings, and now childminders have a separate guide. Both still focus on supporting children in their physical development to meet the early learning goals. The recommendations include elements such as using both fine and gross motor skills. Children need to be accessing outdoor areas every day, and the amount of activity children should be doing. This could be done by parental engagement, observation, including day-to-day routine, making sure that the curriculum is being reviewed and check and challenging. When planning, we should be taking into account children's starting points, what are their interests and fascinations, and how we are developing an understanding and motivation to learn more. We know the amazing work that early year staff do day to day helps support children to be school ready. As mentioned in the previous slide, children need to be supported with their physical development so it can help them to develop their other areas. There are lots of physical activities to help with fine motor skills, which will help children with skills like holding a pen or to help them get dressed. Later, we'll discuss the importance of having a physical activity policy where you can include how you are supporting children, parents, and staff. Let's think about some activities that we can do to get children up and moving. One example is starting the day or afternoon or both with a wake and shake routine. A wake and shake is getting children up, moving and energised before the start of another activity. It's also used as a way of breaking up different learning activities. You get the children moving, you can do big movements to music and build it up each week. This is a way of being physically active, getting the children's attention, and more importantly, having fun. Take a minute and think about how you could use wake and shake or another activity within your daily routines as a practitioner. A few more seconds. Hopefully you managed to get a few examples down. Make sure you practice this within your setting and see how much the children have fun. We're now going to look at physical activity levels. How many minutes a day do you think children between the age of 1 to 5 should be active for? Either A, 75 minutes, B, 150 minutes, or C, 180 minutes. Write your answer down. The correct answer is 180 minutes or 3 hours. This is the recommended amount of physical activity children aged between 1 to 5 should be doing daily. On the right hand side, you'll see the Chief Medical Officer infographic, which goes through the benefits, some key advice, and some activity ideas. You will also see that 180 minutes is advised for children between age 1 and 5. Children under 1, the advice is to aim for at least 30 minutes across the day. That could be activities such as rhyme time and tummy time. Short amounts of time lying on their tummies is good for babies' physical development. It lets them learn how to move their head, limbs, and neck. Make sure they have lots of space and things around them that spark their interest. It's good to talk to parents and support them with their confidence around tummy time. There are lots of resources to support you, and we've included a link in the slide at the end. It's really about tuning into what the baby wants. Active Together is the active partnership for Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. We are here to help organisations and individuals support more people to be active and to move more. Active Together localise the infographics to make them more user-friendly and to include links to local web pages that provide further support. On the screen, you'll see the localised resources for under fives. These resources are free for you to download, or you can make a request for a printed version. This is a resource that can be shared with staff in meetings, as well as an engagement resource to talk to parents and carers about their child moving more, what the benefits are, and some activity ideas. Here is a short video that brings the guidelines to life. We will discuss some of the activities in a moment. It's important to ensure that we are advocating the Moving More message to all staff and parents. The well-being of staff is key. You will see the specific guidelines for adults on the screen. We know that working in early years is physically demanding. It's always good to show the benefits of moving more and how this can be woven into day-to-day life. Research shows that if parents and carers are active, the likelihood is that their children will be too. How can we as professionals encourage parents to move more? We will touch on parental engagement a little bit later in the e-learning. We have physical activity guidelines across the live course. As you can see on the screen, they go from early years to older adults. At the end, we'll include a link where these can be downloaded for free. Thinking back to the video, you'll have seen activities such as climbing the stairs, walking outdoors, playing with water, mark making on the wall, roll papering newspapers in a wand, copying parents like yoga, tidying away, and dancing. These are all ways children can meet the guidelines. There is also a parent resource available for you to download. It has various activities that can be played as a family. Some examples are on the screen. It gives them a challenge and how they can progress. Whether it's activity within a setting or at home, you don't need expensive equipment. Movement is free, and the activities we do advocate low cost or no cost items such as things around the house. There are lots of ways you can create an enabling environment for the children that you are working with. By creating the right space, it can help generate meaningful movement and actions and make being active part of the norm. On the video, you will have seen a practitioner taking away the chairs. This is so that when children play, they can be standing, which helps strengthen their core. It's adaptations like that that can make the biggest difference. It's also having a mix of formal activity and free flow play. Outdoor play is key for development. If you have lack of space, then why not go to the nearest park or green space? Do you have a physical activity policy in place? If you don't know, then maybe this is something that you can ask management. If you have got one, does this need revisiting? And could this be something that could be included at your next team meeting? Role modelling is so important and making sure you are leading by example. When we talk about staff confidence around physical activity, it can really depend on personal experiences. A lot of feedback we receive is I'm not sporty or active, I didn't like PE, and I don't feel qualified. You don't have to have a qualification in sport or exercise, and you don't have to like formal exercise yourself. This is about moving more and giving the best opportunities to the children that you are working with. There are so many different movement activities, and there could be something you find that you enjoy. When we talk about leading by example, this can also mean using positive language around physical activity and movement. We know children pick up what is being said, and words can have an impact. Think about creating a positive culture around movement, which can also be built into your physical activity policy. This is everyone's responsibility. However, we find that by appointing a physical activity champion could really help with improvement. If you're a childminder, is there another childminder you can work with to share ideas? Remember, the Active Together team are here to support you around physical activity. Sedentary behaviour is any time spent awake with little or no movement. For example, sitting watching TV or sitting at the table. Think of when children aren't moving and it's unproductive. Can you think of examples of any unproductive behaviour within your setting? I'll give you a minute to write these down. A few more seconds. Great. Let's look at some examples. Within a setting, it could be things like sitting down for extended periods of time, not engaging in an activity, waiting for long periods, or queuing. And you might see with parents, it could be being in a pushchair, high chair, or car seat for long periods, sitting in long car trips, sitting in front of a screen watching television, playing with non-active electronic devices such as video games, tablets, computers, or phone. We know that long periods of sedentary behaviour and inactivity is detrimental for children's health. Not all physical activity has to be up and running about. You can choose certain activities such as children's yoga, action nursery rhymes to keep children focused. Go out in your local area. We hear about children visiting their local care home, library, or local park. Another way of breaking up queuing for things like brushing teeth is by having activity cards on the wall for children to copy. One of the best places for young children to start being active is at home. Children's lifestyle play an important role in the prevention of child obesity and being overweight. Even if you have a setting that is set up for children to be active all day, we have a duty to be advocating and supporting parents to be doing the same. We know children like to copy, so how can you or a parent lead by example? There are lots of ways you can engage with parents, whether that's a newsletter, text systems, social media, or open sessions. We would encourage you to use the wording "Let's get moving." We have a logo that you can use in your communications. Please use Active Together's free resources to send out to parents and carers. Before we finish, I wanted to run through a few key points that you can take away from this e-learning. We know that physical activity is important. It's everyone's responsibility. By improving physical development opportunities, it can help with Ofsted visits and showcasing how you are supporting early learning goals. 180 minutes of physical activity are the Chief Medical Officer recommended guidelines for under 5s. We want you to take away the message of moving a bit more. By creating an enabling environment, you are building physical activity into the norm and making it easier for yourselves and the children. Making sure you are making small adjustments and breaking up unproductive periods of sedentary behaviour. By engaging with parents, you are highlighting the importance of physical activity and providing them with simple ideas to do at home. A reminder that there are lots of free resources and tools to help you. A lot of the key websites are on the screen where you can access free resources, and we'll make sure that these links are readily available. Thank you for listening to the e-learning on early years physical activity. If there is one thing to take away, it's what are you going to do to support your children to move a bit more?